All right, everybody ready? Everybody good? Everybody, is anybody not wearing pants? Baby. Making me look bad here, Mike. In my own office / home.
Maybe I'm here to interview. You don't know.
That's true, yeah. We do have positions open. The positions are standing and sitting. And also missionary. Wait. Okay, here we go. Right, starting for real now. You guys, be serious, damn it. This isn't a game, you guys. This is my job. Ow, jam. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the TMP Nerf Report. I'm Chewie, and this is Mike. Never mind Mike looking all fancy. He's interviewing for a position later. So, as you know, whenever there are balance changes, we cover them here on the TMP Nerf Report. And we're a little late to the party with this one because these changes went into effect, I think 5 days ago. But whatever. So, first up, we have Channel the Tempest has gone from 8 mana for Primal to 9 mana for Primal because, oh. Okay, let's just get this away. My bad. So apparently, we're not doing Eternal changes. I'm sorry. Because, do you know anything about Eternal?
No, I do not.
Do I know anything about Eternal?
Couple things.
Do I know anything about the meta in Eternal?
Maybe one thing?
That is exactly the number of things I know. All right, hang on. Let me get to the proper page. Ah, yes, Hearthstone. Right. That's really funny.
I'm sorry I ruined the joke by putting jokes on the paper. Let me just put this over here.
Okay, so Hearthstone changes. Excuse us. These were announced yesterday, as of this recording, and they will go live October 18th, which is Thursday. Wow, that's really quick turnaround, isn't it? Usually they tell us about them, and then we have like a week to record a show. And this is, by the way, after they announced that they were going to make no balance changes. So yeah, in the In the Works article from almost exactly a month ago, they said, we've seen the metagame start to stabilize.
Overall, we're happy.
Yeah, basically, overall, well, we're happy with the excellent diversity of decks we're seeing at all levels of ranked play, which made lots of people go. They did say that Giggling Inventor was a card to watch, but they're not planning any changes for now. And then
Dun dun dun.
And then a week or so ago, there was an announcement on Twitter, I think, that was like, yeah, we've got some changes working, just out of nowhere. And so now we get these. First up of which is the Giggling Inventor. Imagine that. The most insane 5-drop printed in a very long time. Neutral 5-drop.
Yeah.
That can fit into all the decks.
Yes.
It's like Boom. Remember when Boom went in every deck?
Yeah.
So yeah, Giggling Inventor is going from 5 mana up to 7! 7, Mike! Damn!
Yeah. It's not, I mean...
I know, right? So...
Bone Mare was a big change. This is bigger.
As a 5-drop, as a neutral 5-drop, it was just too good to ever not play in the vast majority of decks that aren't super face aggro, and even in some of those. But because it spits out 2 Annoyatrons, which are mechs, and Annoyatrons are aptly named, it just could go everywhere. And...
Annoyatron itself went almost everywhere when it was around.
Right? So 2 of them with a stupid 2/1 in the middle just because.
Mm-hmm.
I think the 2/1 was really great because it made Defile a thing as an answer. Speaking as a person who plays a lot of even lock,
Right.
having this with 1 health and then hitting one of the Annoyatrons with something meant that a Defile could clear all of them.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Which is glorious. But anyway, Giggling Inventor was so powerful and important that the metagame warped heavily around it. Mossy Horror started appearing in every deck that couldn't handle a Giggling Inventor, because Mossy Horror, because hey, Brian Prilliman, is really good at handling annoying things, it turns out. Blood Knight started to see play in more aggressive decks that didn't feel like running a big stupid 2/7.
Yeah.
Just run Blood Knight, get a 9/9, and leave them with 2 stupid 1/2s.
Mm-hmm.
Seems fine. This card it was almost, what's the word, ubiquitous. It was in all the decks all the time, which some people viewed as a problem because the card is really powerful. I remember when they start over, edit. I remember when they previewed it, I was like, good lord, how can they print this? And I was right. Ha!
Yeah.
So they're bumping it up to 7. They said that they initially tested it at 6 in both the current standard format as well as with cards that will be released in the future. Good to know that they're, planning ahead. And they felt that its power level at 6 was still higher than appropriate for a neutral card with no build around requirements.
I believe that.
Yeah, because it's so stupid. Another big thing about the Giggling Inventor at 5 is that it's actually a fairly major component of Quest Rogue. Again. The Vicious Scalehide sort of tried to bring back Quest Rogue, and then Giggling Inventor pretty much cemented it. Because paying 5 mana to get 3 4/4s, 2 of which have Divine Shield and Taunt, it's a good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good deal. Yeah, it's gonna be a 7-drop now. It got no stat buffs or anything. It's just a 7-drop.
That surprised me that it didn't get any stat buffs.
I agree.
Like, not even another point of toughness.
That would screw up the Defile answer, though.
That would. You're right. It would. And maybe that's something they noticed when they tried
It could
doing
be.
something to its stats.
What it does do is drop a big nerf on evolving 6-drops. Because imagine having a 6-drop and going, I've got 1 mana left, let's go for a 7, and getting a 2/1. Yay!
Oh wow, I really need to be more careful with the what's it called, the astrologer? Who?
Oh wow, Astromancer?
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the one that gives you a random minion.
Based on the cards in your hand.
Yeah. I try to always play that at 8 if at all possible.
I like 8 too. I think 8's a good choice.
But sometimes you just can't get that extra card in hand and you have to settle for a 7. Ooh, that would suck.
Gosh.
That's really all I can think of for the Giggling Inventor. What else you got?
Yeah, I mean, when something like this shows up everywhere, and you have to put and everyone has to start putting weird cards in their deck to deal with it, that's when you know you have an issue. And I remember I started going through all my decks and finding places to put it in, because why wouldn't you put it in? And I would actually feel a little stupid if I got to a point where it's like I can't figure out how to put this in this deck. And is it just a bad deck? Am I just dumb? But yeah, something that format warping just isn't good. And something that can make anything that can make multiple minions at a time is really good when it makes multiple very good minions all at once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're gonna nerf it. Where will this still see play? I think it's gonna be too slow for the slow control decks to stop the aggro rush, which was getting to 5 to drop the Giggling Inventor bought you a turn or two most of the time.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So it was a good, like, calm down so I can catch my breath and please don't kill me. But it's 7. It's way too late for that. Maybe something like Odd Warrior will still play it. Another thing is, so the meta has shifted around the Giggling Inventor, but with the Giggling Inventor off the table, that means the meta is going to shift back. So some of the decks that we don't see anymore might make a comeback.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, because without this, I guess aggro gets better.
Yeah.
And I think aggro helps to, especially in Hearthstone, aggro helps to check combo.
Oh, yeah.
And that will also make control, if combo isn't as good, that also makes control a little bit better. Because in Hearthstone, you don't have the same kind of preemptive interaction with control that you do in other games.
So yeah, aggro gets a bit better, and then, as Mike said, things shift in response to that. Seems good. So next, this one sort of blindsided me until I realized I don't think this is a response to anything in particular. I think this is just
It's just recognizing that this card has been too good the whole time.
Yeah. So Mana Wyrm, oh boy, Mana Wyrm is going from a 1-drop to a 2-drop, which that's double.
Yeah.
And this isn't like going from a 5-drop to a 6-drop, which you'll notice they didn't do that with Giggling Inventor, because going from 5 to 6 isn't that big a deal. Going from 1 to 2 is huge. Like, the tempo mages right now, some of the unbeatable openers are turn 1 Mana Wyrm, turn 2 the freaking Sorcerer's Apprentice, Arcane Missiles, and sometimes Cinderstorm. Then you've got like a 4/3 that costs you 1, and their burn has blown up whatever defense you had to try to kill it, and it's just awful, and it snowballs into they win. But that's been the case forever.
Yeah, since the beginning of the game, when you had the classic, Mana Wyrm coin, Arcane Missiles, go.
Yeah. So, and they say over time we've been moving away from powerful early game 1-drops like Mana Wyrm, because it can often feel like the outcome of a game is decided by whether Mana Wyrm was played on turn 1 and if it could be removed quickly by an opponent, which is true.
Yeah, Tunnel Trog. Sorry.
They also say that Mana Wyrm has steered them away from making powerful low-cost mage spells, because 1-drop Mana Wyrm means a powerful 2-drop spell is might be a bit too good. So they're just gonna bump it up 1. So nothing changes except for the turn you play it. Like, it's still the same card, and you don't always have Mana Wyrm in your opening hand. So essentially, this is just taking away those free wins, or what to your opponent feels like a free win, because you had the turn 1 Mana Wyrm.
Yeah. And they don't like to... They've also cut down on the easy ways to kill something with 3 toughness. Also.
Yeah, Fiery War Axe costs 3 now.
Yeah, Fiery War Axe costs 3. Like, Dark Bomb was an expansion card that's rotated out. And other stuff like that. It's hard to kill a minion with 3 toughness very early in the game.
That is true, yeah. Yeah, this isn't so much because the Tempo Mage deck is destroying the world in Standard, because it's really not. But it's the difference in win percentage from playing turn 1 Mana Wyrm to not playing turn 1 Mana Wyrm, I would guess, is pretty damn substantial. If that's less than like a 15-20% difference in win rate for the turn 1 Mana Wyrm to not, I would be amazed if it was less than that. It's like bare minimum a 10% difference, right?
It's gotta be.
Because, I mean, we've all drawn the Mana Wyrm on like turn 4 and gone, great, thanks, buddy.
Sometimes it's still pretty decent.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes you play it just in time for the Hellfire. But I think that means it's no longer an auto-include for like every... well, it probably is still an auto-include for every semi-aggressive mage deck that's playing spells anyway. Oh yeah, chat just pointed out that this really hurts the dungeon run deck that Mage starts with, because really Mana Wyrm is all you've got in that deck, which does suck. I'm glad I did that already, because that would be awful.
Gosh, that would be.
I've got 2 Mage decks right now built in Standard that don't run Mana Wyrm, but Tempo Mage has always run Mana Wyrm and will always run Mana Wyrm. And I don't think that's going to change. It's just going to shave points off of the snowball-y potential, which is probably fine. Now, remember, like we said, this is not because of the current state of Standard. This is bringing Mana Wyrm in line with the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Okay? Everybody calm down. Are you calm? They're not calm. So, last one? Last one. Aviana, the one half of the combo that is the Scourge of Wild, is going from 9 mana up to 10. And this is actually a nerf to Juicy Psych Melon.
Which is still extremely ridiculous.
True. But Juicy Psych Melon for 4 mana says draw a 7, 8, 9, and 10 cost minion from your deck. So,
I forgot it costs 4 mana. That is dumb. That is so dumb.
Yes. It is quite dumb. It sees no play in Standard. But that's because Druid is doing so much better stuff in Standard. But in Wild, it draws... So the Aviana Kun combo is...
Yeah.
Is Aviana costs 9, makes all your minions cost 1. You play Kun for 1, refresh your mana crystals. Now you've got 10 mana's worth of stuff to do again, and all your minions cost 1, including the 7 and 8 drop that the Juicy Psych Melon already drew for you. And it drew both halves of the combo. Here, let me show you. Here's Aviana. There's Kun. You see how one costs 9, one costs 10? Does the math check out?
Yes.
Math checks out. That's what he went to school for. He knows. This is sort of a nerf to Juicy Psych Melon in Wild, but it also means that you can't Aviana into Kun the same turn without help, like Innervate or the coin or something. Which, I mean, the combo is still there. It's just not
automatic.
Yeah, automatic and busted. Because now instead of a 2-card combo that just lets you dump your hand, it's now a 3-card combo that lets you dump your hand, and that's massively different.
And you're not guaranteed to draw it from a single cycle.
From a single tutor spell, yeah. Which is ridiculous. Neither of us play Wild, right? No. So
I think one time I did it because Hearthstone gave me a quest, and that was it.
Yeah, I occasionally will jump into Wild to when I've got a stupid play 100 Murlocs or whatever quest, I'll build the all Murloc deck in Wild and hop into rank 25 and just work my way up as high as possible until I finish the quest, and I'm like, wow, that got me all the way to rank or whatever. Because it's amazing how a gimpy aggro deck with fish people will just wreck rank 25 in Wild. Just wreck it. Last time I did that, I actually ran into an Aviana Kun combo at rank 23. And I went, which is probably someone like me who's like, oh no, I'll go play Wild.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, if I were to go play Wild, right now I have a Resurrect Big Priest deck built for Wild that's just sitting in my deck list and not ever getting used. But if I ever do decide to go to Wild, that's what I'll play at rank 25 because that's where I'm ranked. So apologies to whoever gets stuck playing me there. Hopefully I don't chase you away from the game forever. Maybe I'll wait till I get to rank 20 before I play that.
Well, now new players get to start.
That's true. They get to start at rank 50. Yeah. Is that a thing yet?
Is it that far? 50?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think each rank is 1 star?
Something like that.
Yeah. Something like that. We're not there, so we didn't really pay that much attention. It is a good idea, though. speaking from Magic experience, a 2-card combo that lets you do insane things is questionable. But a 3-card combo that lets you do insane things is just fine.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
So, yeah, this makes sense. This is good. Except for those filthy wild druid players. But they're druid players, so no one really cares. Now, that said, there are some cards that people feel are missing from this list. Lots of people were complaining about the lack of another nerf to Spreading Plague, because you remember, they already nerfed it once. What did it cost before?
5.
Did it really?
It did.
Jesus.
It was like Giggling Inventor.
Jesus. So they nerfed it to 6, and it didn't really matter, except it slowed down the druids by a turn against aggro.
It felt like it made a difference when I was playing.
Okay.
To me, it did.
I don't actually remember that far back, 'cause I've actually slept since then, believe it or not.
Good.
Yeah. Not much, but a little bit. But Spreading Plague is a reactive spell. So one of the comments that I read was, I don't understand why Giggling Inventor gets you 2 Annoyatrons for 7 mana, but Spreading Plague can still get you a board full of taunts for 6 mana. And 1, it's a class card. Duh. Class cards are cheaper than neutral cards because they can only go in one class. Neutral cards can go everywhere, so theoretically they should be more expensive, like Giggling Inventor is now, or will be soon.
Mm.
But also, it's a reactive card, so if you get a board full of taunts from Spreading Plague, well, that means your opponent had a board full of minions. And the Spreading Plague stopped them for a minute, rather than, you can't spend 6 mana on Spreading Plague and just get a free board full of 1/5s. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, no.
What is it you said in the card? You can't Shadow Step one of your 1/5s and get 3 more. It doesn't work that way. And I haven't had a problem, personally, with Spreading Plague. Not like a real problem, like not like an insurmountable problem. Like anytime that they get 4 or more taunts off, I'm like, oh. It's when they go Spreading Plague and then MC Tech, and then I go,
yes.
That's when I have a problem. But that's my own fault for not playing around MC Tech. But Mossy Horror still works. Play that. Like, I haven't even thought about it because it hasn't been enough of a problem for me to go, oh my god, I wish they'd do something with this card. And, and I don't understand people who do think that way. What else wasn't on the list? Juicy Psych Melon wasn't on the list for the wild players, but it really was. I mean, really. They nerfed Juicy Psych Melon.
Yeah. I mean, it still might cause more problems later as they continue to make big flashy high-cost minions.
Yeah.
And they don't go back and test interactions between all of them.
Yeah.
Because that just becomes too much of a pain to keep testing larger and larger combinations of different things.
Yeah. And in the Works article, they mentioned that wild balance is a discussion right now about whether they want wild to be like Legacy in Magic, that's just all the powerful stuff, or if they should try to balance it properly. They say right now wild feels somewhat like standard, but with an elevated power level and a vast library of cards. So should it stay like that, or should they really crank it up?
And part of that is because they don't have a separate, I don't know what you want to call it, nerf list for wild than standard. A card that gets changed in one gets changed in the other.
Yeah. Is there anything else that people were complaining wasn't nerfed? I think
I also remember reading the comments. People were also complaining about Ultimate Infestation, but people will always complain about Ultimate Infestation.
Yeah. Ultimate Infestation is completely insane, but it kind of needs to be. Like, Ultimate Infestation itself isn't the problem. It's ramping to be able to cast Ultimate Infestation super early and refill your hand is the real problem.
Mm-hmm.
But...
And the last couple times I have, it didn't seem that bad.
Yeah. It's like, it's the drawing 5 cards that's the problem.
Yeah.
Like, the 5/5 usually at that point in the game is whatever. And the 5 armor is... It's Druid. They've already got 20 armor, so what the hell's 5 more? And the 5 damage is 5 damage.
Mm-hmm.
But oh well. People are going to complain about cards that they've got in their head that they hate. I mean, I've done it in the past. I think Mike probably has too. Just the one card that seems like every time it gets played against you, you just insta-lose. Which probably explains the spreading plague complaints. Yeah. Chat pointed out, what would you even do to Ultimate Infestation? You can't break the symmetry, and it already costs 10. Yeah. Aha, so you make it cost 11, so they have to use an Innervate to play it. Except it doesn't work that way. Because if you Innervate at 10 mana, nothing happens.
They have to use Thaurissan.
Ah! Shut up, Mike. So I guess that's it for the Nerf report, huh?
Yeah, I guess so.
All right. Well, let us know in the comments what you think about the Giggling Inventor, Mana Wyrm, and Aviana nerfs. And if there's anything we missed that either you or someone else feels desperately needed nerfing that didn't get it. I'm trying to think of things that I just hate right now. And I'm coming up short. Like, nothing jumps out at me as a card that makes me go, ah! I mean, Level Up does, but that's not because of the card. That's because of the deck.
Uh-huh. Yeah, the only one that comes to mind is actually closely related to Giggling Inventor. It's the Sonya Shadow Dancer, is that her name?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not an okay card.
It's really not. Not with cheap cheap rush minions. It's really brutal.
And she makes them cheap. So who cares what they started out as?
That is true, yeah. I guess the fact that it's a legendary and really only sees play in Quest Rogue, like in the serious meta.
Yeah.
It pretty much makes Quest Rogue. Every once in a while, you just get a Sonya and you win. But, Good point. I just hate the Quest Rogue deck in general, so just anytime the turn 1 quest, I'm like, ah!
Mm-hmm.
Alright then, so this has been they didn't give us an update name, so this has been the Boomsday Project Balance Changes TMP Nerf Report. I've been Chewie. He's been Mike. Thank you all so very much for watching, and go play some Hearthstone.